I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Report of any executive sessions?
There are none held.
Public comment? Hey, Jeff.
Good morning, Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. I see Teresa Gaffney's not here again, so I'll bring that up week after week. Again, she claimed that she was on FMLA when she legally couldn't be, that she was here less than 100 hours for the entire 2024 calendar year, which would equate to approximately $1,000 an hour between her salary and her benefits package. So just want the public to be aware of that. They were schemed by a row office holder that they voted in. Also, no update on the Stevens. I don't see
Right,
Mike
hold
here.
on.
Yeah.
I did talk to Michael Page.
Okay.
The Attorney General's office there's under investigation, and there was no criminal findings, and they're done with it. The case is closed.
So is there?
That's what Mike O'Page told me.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see if we can get a report on it.
Yeah,
But
okay.
that's from Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked him, I think Monday or Tuesday, I talked to Mike about it.
Okay. Then moving on to the tax increase. It's going to be about 25% tax increase on these people. I just had an elderly person call me over the weekend and tell me that they went through a quarter tank of oil in the past week with all the temperatures being low. So they're going to have a 25% increase just on the county level, not including school, municipal, garbage, their electric and gas are going up. I don't understand how these people are going to be able to afford it. And about certifying this reassessment, there's been some comments you guys made. Some are against it, some are saying, well, we already spent the money. I mean, it was a piss poor decision to even go forward with it without fighting it. And then it's going to be on the burden of the taxpayers to pay this. There was a much, much cheaper and well-respected, well-reviewed company that put a much lower bid in, but we go with a company that changed their names every time that they did a reassessment. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in connection with this nonprofit that, Larry, you were concerned about. I would not be surprised in the least bit. You got to follow the money and see where the money goes. That's the trickle-down effect, and that's what we got to find out. Like you guys sitting up there, you guys can all raise prices on city chicken or strawberries or inspections or anything like that. The average person can't. The average person's on a fixed income. They get what the state says. They might get a 3% increase. They can't. They can't afford it. The amount of people that are really concerned about losing their property is amazing. Drive down through Pottsville and look at these people that are, right now it's negative 17 this morning, and they're under a sleeping bag or in a tent. If there's not somebody dead this week in Pottsville or Schuylkill County, I really don't know what to say. I've stopped numerous times. I know friends that call me, they've stopped, try and offer help and give them stuff. I really don't know. I mean, I wish you guys would do something to try to help out. I mean, Boots, you don't really care about the tax increase. So one thing that I found was, okay, 50 acres, 50 acres on one parcel. That's only the one parcel that I looked up. And it's appraised at $7,000 because of the clean and green. It's $140 an acre. If anybody can find me $140 an acre, I'll buy every one of them. So, thank you.
Once again, Mr. Dunkel, Clean and Green is a program.
I know what clean and green is. I'm saying it's $140 an acre.
And one more comment, as far as fighting that lawsuit started in 2018, and we fought it for 3 years, okay, so we didn't play down, play dead on that.
You're on record at the meeting for the commissioner's race stating it would have cost $100,000
To continue
to fight that.
Right, we had fought
But
it in
instead, we're
2018.
gonna spend $12 million with a company that has the most horrible record and changes their name every time from a county to county, and you choose that one. It was a horrible decision. I still don't have anything. 1 property out of 7 do I have paperwork for. Still. How can I even start an appeal process or go to an attorney? I have nothing. I know many people
You
that
have
don't have
several
anything.
chances to appeal with courage. And once again, we did.
Not the same amount of time as
We
everybody
did.
else.
If you're done, I'd like to comment, please.
Go ahead.
Are you done, sir? For sure you're done?
Well, depending on what you
Are
say.
you done?
Depending on what you say, yes.
No, you're done, or if you want, your comment period's over, my turn.
Well, then you answer it.
You're done. We started that, before I became a commissioner, I was started in 2018, okay? And we were advised by our attorneys, it was fruitless to keep going forward. We would end up reassessing any house, wasting money on fighting a case we couldn't win. So it wasn't that we played down and played dead. It was challenged with an expert attorney for several years beforehand. Mr. Hess, if I'm wrong, say so. So it wasn't that we fought it, we were advised that it was fruitless to spend more money fighting a case we were gonna lose. Just for the record. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
George Stankovich, Palo Alto. Once again, I'm here for the veterans and senior citizens. Thank you, Jeff. I wish all the politicians in Schuylkill County, in Pennsylvania, would walk around these streets of Pottsville, Palo Alto, and a couple other, I don't want to leave any town out. Any town in Schuylkill County, you will see homeless people. And they don't know what to do. They're afraid to ask even for help because they're always turned down. Always. It is a crying out shame.
Hold on, I'll stop your time.
Okay.
There is good agencies out there
Yeah.
that are trying to help some of the homeless people in Schuylkill County, like Our Father's House, Service to All. You know, there is places that do go out to these people.
Okay.
When I was on STS, we tried getting people help. There is some people that come right back. Now, do I think we need to look into trying to do more? There's some programs out there that's going on, but there is some help. I personally have tried to, when I worked for STS, tried to help people, and there is some people that they don't want help.
Yeah, well, hey, I won't disagree.
So it's
with-
not everybody, and I know, like Jeff said, Jeff, you know people, when he's had the soup kitchen, they helped the people. That was a great place.
Yeah, that's
It's just sad that it
That's
went
right.
away.
Yes.
But there was people out there to try to help these people.
But once again, I'm saying they're afraid to go because the same answer is given to them. And I know my wife, and I would never do it, but my wife went to the agency and went for help. You know, first of all, they said, we made a little too much,
No, I know.
okay? And then they say to my wife, you know what you and your husband should do? Get divorced. Then you'll get the money. Now, is that something to say to a
No,
human being?
that is not.
Now, and that's from the agency. Now, that person will deny it right now. But I'll tell you, my wife isn't a liar. She told the truth. And I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. The United States of America. And you just look around. You know what? Now we got criminals being loose from prison that deserve to be in prison. Deserve to be in prison. Now, I'm not saying you guys have anything involved in that. But that just goes to show me how this United States government is falling apart. It's falling apart. Laugh at us. Every country in the world is laughing at us because we don't take care of the people that pay into the system. We take care of the people that never worked a day of their life. They have better homes, better opportunities than the people that paid into the system. Now, if that is a lie, tell me it's a lie. I can go down Market Street, in about 30 or 40 places. And these guys are walking around and they have radios and anything you can think of, and coats that I can't afford. Coats that I can't afford. And you're telling me that this system is fair? This system stinks. It absolutely stinks. It's time to take care of the people that are put into the system, not the people that take out of the system. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of this. I went to Argo about 90 times already. He's tired of seeing me, and I don't care. I don't care what he's tired of. And I'm telling you, and the same way with Torzik, I'm saying, I didn't get a chance to talk to Fetterman or Casey, but I'm telling you, they would tell me the same guff. It's the Republicans or it's the Democrats. That's all they're worried about. What party's getting the credit? I don't want anybody to get the credit. The credit would be shown if these people that are hungry and dying in the streets, if they got help, that's what you do. We put yous in office and them in office to help us out when we need help. Just like Jeff said, how many people can afford all this stuff? 2.5% we got. They give themselves 3.4 and 4%. Does that sound right to you? Sounds terrible to me. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Morning, Linda.
Melinda Diver, North Manheim Township. I'm just going to briefly touch on the subject that I was here last week to speak on, the atrocious proposed project of 2.5 million square feet of warehouse on residential agricultural land in North Manheim Township. As I have previously stated, we are cautiously optimistic regarding that developer pulling his plan, a sketch plan. Well, no, it was a draft plan.
Yeah, I don't
He never
think there
went.
was anything.
He never even went to a sketch plan.
Well,
But he's
I'll give you time. You remember at the last meeting, that meeting I told you, when you did research on this guy, he does not bring projects to fruition. He's looking for a quick, go someplace where he gets no opposition, put a warehouse, get the land acquired and flip it. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, he's essentially
A flipper.
a real
Like,
estate.
yeah,
Well, he's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
He is there, commercial real estate, to come in and find the properties, and then boom,
And
come on,
flip it.
come on investors, come on China, come on in, let's get our stuff in. But if any of you commissioners reached out, or even any of our county planning commission members reached out to put a good word in for the Stop 61 Warehouses group, I would like to say thank you. If you did that, thank you very much for your help and assistance on that. Boots, I know there's no way that you would have been in favor of over 400 acres of farmland being converted to industrial, not even commercial. They were looking for carte blanche industrial zoning, which would have included a lot of residential properties. So absolutely not the right place for that. And there are other programs in the county if people are looking to try to forestall or at least maybe delay this type of industrial zoning that might be proposed in your areas. There are things like century and bicentennial farms, creating what's called an agricultural security area in your municipality, clean and green, and then finally farmland preservation. You do have to have 500 acres signed up in your municipality under the agricultural security area to try to go for the farmland preservation. So that's something we're going to actively work on in North Manheim Township.
Yeah, each municipality that has their own salary if they don't have that, they have to adopt it.
The ASA, yeah.
Yeah, Melinda, while you're up here, I called your supervisors and I also spoke to the preservation coordinator, Kelsey Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Union Township 25 years ago started an ASA, there's 4,000 acres and there's 9 preserved farms. West Brunswick, East Brunswick, South Manheim all have ASAs and preserved farms. North Manheim does not. You need to get the folks in North Manheim.
Right.
We're gonna get an ASA and get some preserved farm. If it was a preserved farm, they wouldn't be eligible for this zoning change.
Right. We're on it, Boots. We're
Okay.
on it.
You're 100% right what you're saying, so.
Yep, okay, thank you. Now I want to jump on George and Jeff's pet peeve project. Jeff last week brought up a very good idea. It was a model that he had seen in action when he was down helping the hurricane victims down in North Carolina. I'm not sure if any progress has been made on that in the last week. But just given our severe environmental circumstances right now with the extreme temperatures, we have got to, within this county, get on board with starting something like that, an outreach type program to try to save people. And again, with the reassessment looming, I think this is going to become even more and more problematic, that we're going to have folks who will not be able to afford to stay in their homes and ending up out on the streets, or perhaps having to move in with other family members or whatever. I see dire consequences down the road, and I would caution each of you 3 commissioners to think long and hard about whether you are going to vote to certify that reassessment. Once the final numbers are available and you can see what percentage of retired individuals who are struggling now, to maybe try to put some sort of, if you decide you're going to certify it, which I would not recommend, but put some sort of program or something in place to try to help those on a fixed income to be able to remain in their homes. Okay, so yeah, so if you could please, let's start looking at some of these programs. I think we have a pretty good group of active community members who would be willing to step forward and volunteer their time and energy to set up some of these outreach programs.
The information that Jeff's gonna get from North Carolina, there's actually now, we found out that through Dave Youngkin, they're starting something kind of like this they're looking into. So we're gonna try to combine, get the information with that, get it with this group that's already working together, to try to get more groups working together. You know, so we'll take that information, combine it, and try to see what we can do.
Because one thing, and Larry, you talked about that there's a lot of programs out there already within the county. I think part of the problem is folks don't know that those programs exist. I know I've talked to several senior citizens, and when I try to inform them, okay, you know that this program exists through our Office of Senior Services, they have no clue. So somehow figuring out, whether it's through church organizations or whatever, that we can reach out to folks so that they know what programs are available. And you know, another thing, I would like to see our state reps, and Dave Argel as our state senator, to get more involved with things. Because I got to tell you, even with this Stop 61 Warehouses group that we had, do you think my state rep, Tim Twardzik, even had the consideration? Me and 2 other homeowners went and personally drove up to Fragville to meet with Tim Twardzik. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to get back to you. Do you think anybody from Tim Twardzik's office ever got back to us on that warehouse project? No, they did not.
I just want to say on the development here in Schuylkill County, now, like I said, North Manhattan Township probably is not the right place for this, but we have to find locations in this county for development, for businesses, for warehousing, for housing, more housing development.
Well,
So my big thing is, I want to look at to see what we can do to try to create basically a higher ridge too. But the problem is, we got to get infrastructure on the other side of 81, the interchange, and that area up there. There's not many homes. There's not much to impact. It's open ground, so there's no agriculture up there, no anything. So that's one of the big things I'm trying to look at, because we need growth, but we need responsible growth in the right areas.
Yep, you're
We
right.
just can't say no to everything, but
Exactly.
Maybe that wasn't the right location. And
Right.
If he was a serious developer, I reach out to people and say, let's meet with them and try to find an alternate location. Didn't get any response. Do you know what I mean? So let's try to find an alternate location.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, thanks,
I
Larry.
just wanted to say one thing. If anybody knows anybody just roaming the streets or anything, the Pottsville Senior Center has been open. My
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
For
all the
one.
way to 6 o'clock. Okay, they've been open to 6 o'clock, so anybody that wants to get out of the cold, they can come in.
Are any of our other senior centers open? I know the one.
They don't utilize it,
They
it's the
don't.
Hotsville Center that utilizes it every time you go.
Every time you go,
yeah.
Yes.
See, and that's not known out there to some of the people.
I know,
you
it's hard to
what I
get
mean?
information to
I
people that don't
know.
have any technology, a permanent address.
The emergency responders knew about that and got the word out. I know Gary, you were
Okay.
working with publicly.
So that's a nice thing.
Okay. Go on to the meeting, grant writers.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just a few. The first 9 are all engineering contracts. First, Alfred Benish and Company, $23,400 for the Riley Township water line replacement project. Alfred Benish, $8,700 for a street improvement project on Glenwood Avenue in Tamaqua. Benish and Company again for $8,700 for a street improvement project on Lafayette Street in Tamaqua. A contract with NTEC in the amount of $17,500 for a park project at Willow Street Park in Schuylkill Haven. A contract with Arrow Consulting for $5,740 for an ADA improvement project at the Savory Street Park in Palo Alto. Arrow Consulting for $5,740 for an ADA improvement project at the Bacon Street Park in Palo Alto. Arrow Consulting for $11,481 for a street improvement project on Shamokin Street in Butler Township. Arrow Consulting in the amount of $11,481 for an ADA park improvement project at the Wayne Township Park. And Arrow Consulting for $10,191 for an ADA improvement project at the Zion Grove Park in West Penn Township. My next 4 are 4 co-op agreements. First one, Borough of Gerardville for demolition projects located at 344 East Monroe Avenue, 20 East Preston Avenue, 324 to 326 West Ogden Street and 24 East Ogden Street. A cooperation agreement with Ashland for a demo project at 1321 Spruce Street. And a cooperation agreement with the Borough of Palo Alto for a demo project at 258 West Savory Street. And the last cooperation agreement with the Borough of Tamaqua for a demo project at 35, 37, and 39 Railroad Street. Then the next 8 are all demo contracts. $9,200 for Bederick Excavating for the project at 344 East Mahanoy Avenue, Gerardville. $6,248 to AMC for a project at 20 East Preston Avenue, Gerardville. $19,444 to Affordable Construction and Demo LLC for a project at 324, 326 West Ogden Street, Gerardville. Contract for $39,221 to AMC Enterprise for a demo project at 24 East Ogden Street, Gerardville. $15,944 to Affordable Construction for a demo project at 1321 Spruce Street, Ashland. $23,444 to Affordable Construction for a demo project at 34 East Center Street, Monterey City. $8,444 to Affordable Construction for a demo project at 258 West Savory Street, Palo Alto. And finally, $21,333 to Daniel J. Farber for a demo project at 35, 37, and 39 Railroad Street, Tamaqua. Thank you.
Planning and zoning. Yeah, that was a list. I don't think you need a drink.
Morning, Commissioners.
Well,
Planning is requesting approval of a land development agreement to be substantially in the form of the county's standard land development agreement for the preliminary final lot annexation and land development plan Fuel Up Miners Car Wash, and to authorize execution of this agreement by the Board of Commissioners. The land development plan was conditionally approved by the County Planning Commission at their January 8th, 2025 regular meeting. We're also requesting approval of a contract with the Law Office of Shane Hobbs for the service of Attorney Shane Hobbs in his capacity as solicitor to the Schuylkill County Zoning Hearing Board. The Zoning Hearing Board voted at their January 7th, 2025 meeting to select Attorney Hobbs as their solicitor. And lastly, we're requesting approval of a contract with the Center for Community Progress to provide technical assistance and professional services to help the county assess and implement strategies for addressing hazards posed by blighted properties. These professional services are proposed to be conducted as part of the county's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant Award to build capacity and capabilities to mitigate hazards. Thank you.
County administration? Court administration.
Morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Mary Tiffany, District Court Administrator. We are requesting an amendment to the June 21st, 2022 Independent Counsel Agreement to provide that all attorneys appointed on or after the date of this amendment to represent those persons having filed Post-Conviction Relief Act petitions shall be compensated at the rate of $150 per hour without being subject to any cap on maximum fees. Thank you.
Thank you. Office of Senior Services? Morning, Morning.
Good morning. Deanna Orlowski, Administrator, requesting approval for an addendum to contract with Attorney Stanley Burke of Pottsville for fiscal year 24-25 for legal services to increase the cap by $21,250 and include the county's updated standard terms and conditions. The revised contract cap will be $42,500. The rate will remain the same at $94.10 an hour. Next one, approval of an addendum to the contract with Attorney James O'Connor of Frackville for fiscal year 24-25 for legal services to include the county's updated standard terms and conditions. The contract cap will remain at $21,250 and the rate per hour will be $94.10 per hour.
Thank you. Treasurer's Office?
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning, Linda. Hi, Linda.
Good morning. So I have the treasurer's report for December 2024, ending balance in all accounts, $94,216,595.04.
Thank you, Linda. Solicitor's Office?
Commissioners, a proposed motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the Schuylkill County Broadband Task Force to serve as municipal broadband champion for its municipalities in relation to the Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority, provided, however, that any submissions or applications to the Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority by or on behalf of Schuylkill County shall be subject to prior approval by the Schuylkill County Board of Commissioners. The second proposed motion is a motion to adopt a resolution that the county sell its 2024 tax claims in consideration for payments estimated amount not to exceed that fiscal year's real estate tax settlement amount, and on or after January 1st, 2026, to sell the anticipated 2025 tax claims in consideration for payments estimated not to exceed that fiscal year's real estate tax settlement amount, and on or after January 1st, 2027, to sell the anticipated 2026 tax claims in consideration for payments estimated amount not to exceed that fiscal year's real estate tax settlement amount to the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Schuylkill pursuant to an agreement of sale and other supporting documents and amendments that shall be in a form approved by the Chairman of the Board of Commissioners and County Solicitor.
Thank you. Finance Office?
Larry,
Yeah.
can you explain that a little bit clearer for people?
How to explain this? There is a program out there that you monetize your tax claim debt and you get your money up front.
It's like a tax anticipation.
It's kind of, but it doesn't cost us anything.
Has it been done before, or is this new?
It's never been done in Schuylkill County before, it's been done in other counties. It's a way for us it makes budgeting easier because you know what you're getting up front. Plus we'll make some money on it, the county yearly on top of it. And also it'll help fund the redevelopment authority. They'll get like 10 or 12,000 a year for the redevelopment authority out of this. So it's kind of like a tax anticipation, but it's not. And they're still our assets, they can be still sold, they can be everything, and it's only on a year-to-year basis. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a way for the county to monetize that amount and get the money up front. Yeah, instead of waiting long-term.
Right.
You got Finance Officer?
Commissioners, good morning. This morning, there are 5 budget adjustments that are on the agenda. The 5 budget adjustments are all for the prior year, and they have been posted outside of the boardroom. I also have a supplemental budget appropriation resolution I'd like to present. It's 2024-28. I'm presenting this on behalf of the Juvenile Probation Department. It's for $138,300. Commissioners, what this actually represents is Juvenile Probation Department has a training account, and what they would like to do is they like to make a draw on that account to pay for some additional training expenses, and there is sufficient funds available in that account to pay for those additional expenses. So we're adjusting the appropriate line items from a budgetary standpoint, and a motion is being requested on this resolution this morning.
Okay, can I have a motion for 2024-28?
Yeah, motion for the budgetary appropriation resolution.
Second. Some questions?
Commissioner Fedora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes. County Administrator. Linda's gonna
Yes,
read it.
ma'am. Okay. On behalf of Parks and Recreation, approval to adjust the clubhouse and associated fees at Sweet Arrow Lake as follows. Parties and meetings, $250 for off-season, $500 for peak season, which is April through November. Wedding reception bundle, $1,500. Wedding ceremony only, $1,000. Business meetings, $250 for the clubhouse only. Large pavilion, $125. Waterfall pavilion is $150. Okay. And that'll be approved next week, I believe.
Yeah.
And on behalf of Schuylkill County Fire Chiefs Association, authorization is requested to endorse the following as executive board members of the Schuylkill County Fire Chiefs Association for year 2025. Frank Zingari is chairman from Gerardville, Robert Leschko, McAdoo, Dave Sadison, Pine Grove, John Blickley, Frackville, Gary Whitmire, Pottsville, Scott Prater, Port Carbon. Authorization is also requested to endorse the following as advisory board members of the Schuylkill County Fire Chiefs Association for year 2025. Jack Messner, Pottsville, John Kelman, Minersville, Art Conley, Tamaqua, Ron Riddell, Sacramento, John Matz, Deer Lake, West Brunswick. And then we also have on behalf of Luzerne Schuylkill Workforce Development Board, approval of the resolution appointing Schuylkill County Commissioner Chairman Larry Pedora as the lead chief elected official to execute documents on behalf of Schuylkill County and the Luzerne Schuylkill Workforce Development Area. It includes signing the local Workforce Development Board partnership agreement between the designated counties and Luzerne Schuylkill Workforce Investment Board, Inc.
Thank you, Linda. Human Resources, Nancy.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. At MIS, the promotion of Joanne Flynn to software team lead, the rate is $104,650, effective 1/27/25, coming from systems specialist. In the Office of Senior Services, the appointment of Pamela Brown as Aging Care Manager 3, the rate is 19.72, effective 2/10/25, rate is per the contract. Additionally, we have an informational item in the Sheriff's Office, the appointment of Damon Yost as an unpaid intern effective 2/3/25. All the appointments are pending drug test and physical and where appropriate, and all actions involving salary or for positions being created are pending salary board approval, and we do need a motion on this one item.
Okay, can I have a motion for the MIS promotion of Ms. Flynn?
Yes, the motion for Joanne Flynn, so moved. Second.
Any question?
Commissioner Fedora?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Any new business? Motion to, okay. What's the next one? I lost myself. Oh, there it is. Okay, salary board. We have, Board of any executive sessions,
There were none held.
public comment for salary board?
Melinda Dybert, North Manhattan Township. Okay, still wondering why the Director of Finance, Paul Buber's position, it's not posted out there. under job openings. Does that mean that you guys have hired someone?
No, we didn't hire somebody yet, I'll make sure it's posted, I thought it was. I'll
Yeah,
make sure it's posted today, but we do have, hopefully, we have somebody that we're going to interview.
someone you're gonna interview?
I hope.
Okay, yeah, because I know it was weeks ago, probably even before Christmas, that Heather Garrity had said that the position had been taken down from the board out there. And, okay, she couldn't really answer why, because the position had not been filled at that point, and maybe, you know, a couple of people were gonna be interviewed or whatever, but
They were
in my
interviewing
estimation,
off the
if
job.
someone hasn't actually been hired, maybe keep it posted, and then once you make an offer or counter offer or whatever back and forth, then maybe take it down if it seems like you're gonna get the position filled. But I know last week, Larry, you said you were gonna make sure that it was posted out
Yeah, I
there.
thought- I
and it's
told
still
them
not
that,
posted.
So I'll make sure it's.
So, Tony, maybe you can make sure that that gets posted out there, Mr. Kern. Thank you, would appreciate that. Not sure how we're supposed to fill a position if we don't even have it posted. Is it also posted on where, Indeed or?
It's on, I believe it's on Indeed, and where else is it? I don't know all the places. Indeed and.
That's it?
Indeed, yeah.
Okay, because there's several of those services out there. Director of HR, love it. Okay. Also kind of questioning the stuff with Lisa Stevens, so maybe I'll have to put a call into the State Attorney General's office.
Well,
And Larry, if you can let us know if you do get that. So Mike said,
They did a
DAO Pig
verbal
said
thing, but
he's
they're finding out if they can release their report.
finding out if they can release it.
Like
Interesting.
there is no, from what Mike said, like I said, we referred to Mike, you know that.
Yeah.
So I asked him, and then he's finally got something back from them. They said there was no criminal things, there's no anything, and we would get the county sued if we go backwards and discipline somebody for something that a previous board already disciplined her for. That would open up the county to liability.
Yeah, a 2-week, whatever,
Well, that was,
paid vacation or whatever, two weeks. Wow. It did absolutely rise to the level, it was considered theft by deception. Now, I would have to think maybe because of the lack of consistency in the State Attorney General's office and different people being appointed and this one coming in for a while and then somebody else being appointed, lack of consistency there.
they did a full
But
investigation.
maybe they meant there was
Hold
no
on,
criminal.
I'll give you your time.
Oh my gosh.
Because you're saying statements that aren't true.
Like
They
what?
did come and investigate. I know they interviewed the county administrator. I knew they came and talked to HR. They asked for all the paperwork pertaining to the investigation. They came here and physically did an investigation.
And they spoke to the subordinates that she had directed down at Children and Youth to pay her under the table.
Melinda, once
Were
again.
they interviewed?
Melinda, once again,
Never mind, I'll call.
I cannot tell the Attorney General's office on how to conduct their investigation.
I'm just asking, were they
I
interviewed?
don't know all
They're
the
county
details.
employees.
I just know who they came to in our offices, and that's how I know where they came to, but they investigated, the Attorney General's office investigated it.
Children and Youth is under your purview, the commissioners.
We cannot.
So you don't know whether any of those subordinates that she directed to pay her under the table, whether they were interviewed.
All I can tell you is, take it up with the Attorney General's office, because that's where it was referred to.
Okay, I already said I was
And like I said
going
to
to.
you
Thanks,
before,
Larry.
we would abide by whatever the Attorney General's office said. If they would've came back with a different ruling, we would abide by what the Attorney General's office said. I don't have control over them, so if you have more control over the Attorney General's office.
I didn't say that I did.
And give them a call and see if they'll do something different.
I'm a taxpayer in the
I
county.
agree, and it was investigated, and they did an investigation, and that's what they came back with. I don't know what else to tell you. I can't make them manufacture stuff. I can't tell them what to do, none of us can. Mike O'Pake referred it to them.
I never said any of that, Larry.
But
So all I'm stating is, I'll call them. Thank you,
That's what
thank
should
you.
do.
I'll
should
call them.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Any other public comment from salary board? Human Resource Office?
Yes, we have an MIS create the position of software team lead effective 1/27/25, and also an MIS set the salary for Joanne Flynn as software team lead at the rate of $104,650 effective 1/27/25.
I have a motion for those two.
I'll move, Mr. Chairman.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedor?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
First Deputy Controller Pacenta?
Yes.
Any new business? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, second. Let me get that info. Including on email. Well, let's start with Dave Young
I'm gonna send an email today to him.
and see
But you're
everything we can on what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I know they were talking about it.
It's part of what I wanted to do, but not the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
so
I know, it's cold weather.
It's brutal.
It is.
I didn't actually get that